What's up, it's Joe, and in this video I'm going to explain 3 common reasons why a woman decides not to go on a second date with you, even though it seems like you got along really well on the first date. Now, the first reason is quite surprising. It's that you didn't make a move. Now, you might hear from a lot of women that, I'm not the kind of girl to have sex on the first date. I want to get to know a guy first. And that's fine if you don't have sex on the first date. But if you make the mistake of not at least trying to escalate to develop like a physical, flirtatious relationship and trying to lead it towards your place, what happens is that she normally feels like she leaves the first date feeling like there's no chemistry. In actual fact, it's just you trying to be a gentleman, right, and show her that you care about more than just sex. But what actually happens is that there's just no sexual chemistry on the first date, and she sees it's kind of awkward for her, if anything, and she sees no reason to go on a date with you again. Listen, a lot of girls will say, I'm not that type of girl to have sex on a first date, but they are actually, deep down, that's what they want, is that for you to take responsibility and to just make it kind of happen. So if you take no responsibility to get physical with her, to be flirtatious, to try and lead the date back towards your place, she's going to end up feeling actually quite disappointed a lot of the time. There's just going to be this awkward like friendship relationship, but actually you want to take it physical and she wants to take it physical, but nothing happens, and she doesn't want to go through that awkwardness again. That's why we always recommend that you at least, dear God, you at least need to be trying to kiss her on the first date at the bare minimum, and establishing that this is not like a friendship, this is me trying to get into like a physical relationship with you. If you're not at least going for the kiss on the first date, then dear God, it's going to be very rare that she's actually wanting to go for a second date. The second reason is almost the complete opposite. When things go really, really well on the first date, maybe you do lead it back to your place, maybe you do go all the way, you have full intercourse, but then somehow she still doesn't want to date you again. Okay? The main reason for this is that she doesn't feel like you actually care about her as a person. Alright? Perhaps you were this fun, you were charismatic, you made jokes, you were flirtatious, you led it smoothly back to your place, but you didn't take the time to get to know her. Okay? This communicates that you were only in it for sex. She is perhaps fine with that, but often she won't want to go and do that again, either because she feels a bit embarrassed that she gave it away so quickly, or that she's actually looking for something more serious and you don't seem to be the sort of guy that's going to provide that. Okay? In many cases, that's why she won't want to see you again or even reply to your messages. And the third reason is kind of completely out of your control, and it's just that she's found someone else. Alright? There are a lot of guys competing for guys' attention, especially in this era of like Tinder, social media, whatever else. So there's every chance that there's just a guy who just happens to be better than you in her eyes, right? Maybe her ex-boyfriend has come back, maybe some fucking rich guy from Instagram is still into her DMs, and she is just not feeling it with you at the moment because her interest is firmly with another guy. In this case, at least, it is savable. Like, if you have swapped social media details with this girl, she continues to see what you're getting up to, you're posting cool, interesting content, she's seeing that you're living a fun life without her. Often you can re-engage, maybe in a couple of weeks' time, and then you can have that second date then. But I just want you to know that sometimes if a girl doesn't want to go on a second date with you, actually it's nothing to do with what you did and what happened between the two of you. So this leads to the question, how can I transition from a good first date to have a second date with her? Now, honestly, I don't believe there's like one correct way to do this, but this is what I do. We're going to assume that it was a good first date in that, like, I tried the best I could to physically flirt with her, to lead it towards my place. And also I tried to get to know her on a personal level. What I do, and what I guess I suggest you guys would do, is if you went all the way and you got like sexually intimate with her, I would text her the next day. This communicates that you are interested in more than just a one-night stand with her. She doesn't have to feel that like regret and wondering if she was just like being a complete hussy and that you were being a fuckboy. Alright? This communicates that you want something more, and she needs to know that as soon as possible, otherwise she's just going to feel like guilty. And you don't want that. However, if it didn't go all the way to the bedroom and didn't necessarily get physically like intimate with her, then it's perfectly fine, and I suppose recommended that you wait a couple of days before messaging her again, maybe even longer. All right, obviously continue posting highlights of your awesome life on social media for her to see, but there's not necessarily a rush to message her in that situation. Either way, what kind of message am I going to send? I'm going to send something called a ping text. I made a whole video about how to send effective ping texts, and that video is titled something like she didn't text back, what next, or something like that. I'll leave a ticket up there here. That's the sort of text you want to send, and then if she replies once she's like interested in you, you quickly lead that towards the second date, and do it as soon as possible. That's all I really want to say on this topic. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll speak to you real soon.